If there's one question that has plagued women since the beginning of time in the fitness industry, it's how do I get rid of my lower stomach fat? Your pooch. Today I'm going to tell you 3 unique, bizarre ways to get rid of it that you might not have heard of.
Here's what I found.
50 bizarre ways you could die. That's what Siri just gave me. Well, that's morbid, but we're also going to talk about specifically what your pooch is and why you might not actually want to get rid of it. And you have a chance to win. What's in the box today? But first, tip number 1. If you are one of my subscribers, I love you, and you've heard me say this 100 times, but if you're new here, you might not have heard this. The number 1 thing, someone just saw me do that, APT, anterior pelvic tilt. So standing like this. You tilt in a way like this. Your butt kind of sticks out, your abs kind of stick out, which you can realize it would be bad for your lower back. But also what's happening is you're stretching out your abs, just like you're stretched out your bicep. When do you build your bicep? Not when it's stretched out, when it's contracted. When do you work on your abs? When they're contracted. And you have something called your transverse muscles, which is like a corset inside you. When it's engaged, it almost like sucks everything in. Just think of that. When you have a strong core, it's actually gonna suck in a little bit. So it might not be an actual pooch. It could just be weak abs, which is also from weak glute. But as I say this, don't think I just prescribed you APT. You have to go see an exercise specialist, medical professional to actually know that. And the reason you shouldn't just start right away doing anterior pelvic tilt exercises is that you could actually have posterior. I can't really do it, but you could have posterior. Like I'm over exaggerating because I don't have it, but like you're slouching the opposite way. You're kind of like this would be the opposite way. If you're doing all this anterior pelvic stuff, you could do the complete opposite and making what you have even worse. That's why you should never just listen to random people off the internet. Do your own research. I just realized I was gonna be like, oh, what can I show you guys for this? Joe, who runs this place, has them as well. Athletic Greens, your gut microbiome. I want to explain this all in very layman terms. I'm not a scientist. You have a diversity of bacteria in your gut. A lot of them. The more you have, the better. Taking probiotics, prebiotics, just eating a wide range of food is going to create a lot of different gut bacteria. If you don't have good gut bacteria, you can get bloated. If you don't have good bacteria, a lot of stuff you eat your body isn't used to, doesn't have the digestive enzymes, whatnot to eat, it's gonna cause you to bloat. A great example I'm gonna insert right here from Abby Sharp. She talked about how having a really strict diet can actually be what causes you to have diet restrictions, because if you never eat wheat, you never eat gluten, you never eat dairy, that could actually be the intolerance. Your body's just not used to digesting it, so when you actually eat it, you have an issue. I've talked about this before. I gave up dairy for a long time. First time I had Greek yogurt, it destroyed me.
You mean there's cheese as in dairy?
I was heartbroken because I was like, I could never have ice cream again. And then I just sucked it up and ate it for a month because I was like,
F it, I'm never giving it up.
And then after a month, my body just got used to it and I no longer get bloated from dairy. Once again, I'm not a medical professional. You don't just go raw dogging eating dairy if you haven't forever. And there is people who are intolerant for sure. I use Athletic Greens because it has probiotic, prebiotic nutrients and minerals. Wow, I should make this an ad for it, but it's not. Hello fam, I am home. Welcome home. Hey Drunk Keltie, glad you survived Coachella. We need to have a chat. What? I saw your diet. Chicken fingers, French fries, beers. There was not a single vegetable consumed in 4 days. I'm fine. Oh God, I'll eat some today. Now that I think of it, Drunk Keltie looks way too nourished, considering from her stories, the only thing she consumed in 3 days was chicken fingers and Heineken. See, at this rate, you're gonna get scurvy. You need to do your research. Jim the Shark put AG1 packs in my suitcase before I left. Now I've been drinking AG1 almost every single day for 2 years, but when I love it the most is weekends like Coachella. The reality is, do you think there's vegetables on the ground at Coachella? No, the only vegetable is a French fry. It is so nice when I go on these trips, when I travel, especially at things like music festivals, when I don't have vegetables, I just know it's like my nutritional insurance. There's vitamins and minerals from whole food sources. There's a superfood complex, there's prebiotics, there's probiotics, there's adaptogens, digestive enzymes. It's pretty much like a 9 supplements in one. Like it just has everything. So I know when I'm traveling, it's gonna be okay. My body's still getting a ton of nutrients when I'm not getting it from my foods. And then when I'm back in my normal life, it's great that I know not every day you're gonna get everything. I've noticed it's helped with my energy, digestion, gut health, and it tastes good. I like to mix it with a little bit of milk, some water, and it tastes kind of like a fruity matcha to me. It's not overly grassy, it's nice and fresh, and I enjoy it. And most importantly for me, it is NSF certified, because supplements, the sad reality is you don't know what's in them, and that's why I preach this one over any other supplement, because I know what you're drinking is actually in the bottle. Tap my link below to get a year's supply of immune supportive vitamin D3, K12, and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. You can't put a price tag on your health. And thank you, Athletic Greens, for sponsoring this video, but most importantly, thank you for allowing Drunk Keltie to have some form of green after 5 days in the desert. And I know I said this wasn't gonna be AG1 sponsorship and minerals. Wow, I should make this an ad for it, but it's not. But they were sponsoring one video this month and I mentioned them and it was so organic. So yes, I just inserted it in, so forgive me. But having a diverse microbiome, because if you don't, you're gonna just constantly be bloated. And it might not actually be the little pooch, it just might be a case of everything you eat inflaming down there. There could be something you were eating that you are intolerant to, but it can also be on the opposite side of the spectrum. You could be so restrictive that your body just isn't used to things. Right there, you can be like, I'm Keltie, I don't know where I am. Exactly. This is just me planting the seed in your head. And then you go and talk to some medical professionals who will tell you exactly what works for you versus wasting time seeing 100 different opinions on the internet. But speaking of pooch, why you actually need that belly pooch, and it is not something to hate. We're gonna bring in Research Keltie, but I apologize, Research Keltie is at Coachella. I tried to take one vacation to go live my wild, intoxicated myself at Coachella and rave, and what happens? Normal Keltie brings me back. I don't even have my glasses. Okay, I saw this Harvard study, give me a second. Professionalism, not music festival professionalism. Why your body needs your belly pooch. From Harvard Medical. I'm not in a research okay. This is from Harvard Medical. What a lot of people don't realize is that fat is an endocrine organ or gland producing hormones and other substances that can have profound effects on our health. So we do understand that excessive fat has negative effects on your hormones. There is still a minimum amount of fat you need. It is an active substance, just like your muscles or skin or other organs. It's not just fat chilling there, it actually has a purpose and you need some of it. Guess what? Oh no. While I'm here, I might as well get the final bit. I'm gonna drop out of character. I got sent this package, I don't know how, from the studio at Transburger & Co. It's supposed to be like all this makeup stuff for Coachella, but I'm gonna be honest, when I go to Coachella, I'll look pretty for like 30 minutes, and then I go hard. I'm not there to get a photo, I'm there to fucking rave. Anyway, so I got given all these goodies. We got hairspray, face cream, deodorant, goodies, and you have a chance to win every single thing. How to enter? Comment down below the dream artist you would see performing at Coachella. A lot of you are like, Keltie will never step foot at Coachella. I feel that, but for me, if you're like, Keltie, who's your dream? I'd be like, Swedish House Mafia, come out of retirement. That's why I'm going, baby. So comment who that would be to you. We do have to change the narrative that yes, there's a percent if you have a lot of visceral fat around your organs that can be harmful. I'm not talking about that. I think we also have to normalize, especially women, we need a certain amount of body fat, especially around our organs. It is not ironic that that little bit of extra fat that takes the longest to get rid of is around your uterus, where you would hold a baby. It is to protect you, your organs, and potentially another life. It took me a long time because I was too in my early 20s. I was like, how do I get rid of this? Well, like I've always been skinny and I still have it. And I was like definitely like quote unquote skinny fat growing up. And even when I shredded down for bodybuilding shows, I had to get to such a low body fat percentage to actually lose it, and it was still a little bit there. We just have to start thanking ourselves for that and just normalizing. We've kind of normalized it's okay to have a little extra weight on your boob, your butt. We like that. Why can't we look at the same on our stomach? Try to be like, no, that thing right there is keeping me alive. It is keeping my organs working. It's keeping my hormones working. And literally, what is the point of living if you're not alive? You know what I mean? And it sounds so simple, but we just need to start normalizing that. And it breaks my heart every single time I get a comment from someone who's like, I work out a lot, I'm lean, I just can't get rid of that little lower belly fat because you're not supposed to. Now, yes, there's a definition. Like today, for whatever reason, I ate funny. I woke up bloated. That's different. We can work on that. We can work on optimizing it, but we don't have to worry about getting rid of just a little bit of life. But I will give one last tip, because you came for this video, you're like,
Keltie, I came for this.
okay. We're gonna talk about the bloat, the APT, and not just the healthy body fat percentage we, especially as those born as women, need. If you are someone who falls into that category of you're like, no, I do have a lot of visceral fat around here, I do need to lose a bit of that to help my organs be healthier, I want to paint an idea of dopamine. We're gonna talk about dopamine. We're not gonna talk about a calorie deficit, because I think that's been pounded into everyone's mind. You eat in a calorie deficit, eat less calories than you burn, you'll lose weight. We all know that at this point, but we're not talking a lot about creating an environment around you that allows you to optimize being in a calorie deficit. So I'm gonna leave this little tidbit that I thought could be fun for you to bring in to your next week: dopamine. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. We hear about it. Social media, dopamine spikes. Constant news cycle, dopamine spikes. Constant fast food everywhere, dopamine spikes. You're on YouTube right now. It's just dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. And we're constantly in this crash slow, crash slow. Sugar. Sugar is my best friend. I love sugar. You guys know I'm not anti-carb. I'm not anti-sugar. But I think it is also nice to realize the relationship that things like sugar and some of those like higher palatable foods have on your brain mechanism. And this is a little just food for thought. I actually got this from the Andrew Huberman podcast. I'm gonna put a whole link here. You can go check that out. This is just a nice realization of what's actually going on in your body. I think educating yourself on nutrition is the best way to have long-term changes. Every time you have sugar, especially if you haven't had it for a long time, you have a massive dopamine spike. Just like drugs. Sorry to turn there, but you have that, and it's that initial boost. Now it's a bit easier because people have heard about this with drugs, so I'm sorry we talked about this. You have the initial hit, and then it starts to crash, and you're constantly craving that hit you just had, so you go and have another hit. The first hit is always going to be the drastic, so you went from not having to have it. So just the perspective of not having for so long creates that big dopamine spike. So if you go for another hit 20 minutes later, you're not going to get this high. It's only going to feel about this good, and that's usually why people get addicted to drugs, because the first time is always going to be the biggest high because you've never experienced it. And it goes down, down. Sugar has that same aspect. So you haven't had any sugar for a little bit. You have a piece of chocolate. Oh my God, that dopamine, that like hit, that reward you get is amazing. It kind of starts to lower down, and you want that hit again, and you're only gonna get this high from the sugar. So, and then that's what can cause overeating. There's a lot of other things for overeating. But I think even just realizing, sometimes I tell myself if I want a treat, I'm just like, just savor it. Live in the serotonin, live in the moment of it. Savor that side of it. Just truly savor it. And just realize if you have that craving after, be like, honestly, that it's not gonna hit as hard as that first one. And just mentally telling myself can kind of be a nice game of like why I'm also craving that. Just realize it's the hit of dopamine and it's going down a little bit. If you're someone who struggles with overeating with sugar, there's just a little food for thought, pun intended. Let me know down in the comments, first of all, your artist you want to know, and if you guys want more videos like this. Most importantly, I want to get across that you do need that lower body fat. If there's things in your health surrounding that, bad digestion, poor posture, or just a not healthy relationship with food, whether it be overeating or undereating, those are things to control. And it's just naturally, if you just treat your body good, give it a wide diversity of food, you work on those core strengthening posture balances, and you work on creating a healthy relationship with food. It is crazy how, I'm not gonna say you're gonna get a six-pack, but when your body's working good, things just start to feel good, flow good, look good. That was cheesy. Anyways, moral story. Have a great day, go pet a dog. Love you guys, bye.